What up, Dude Bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Hovering Target. Check this out. Too long didn't read. It's a fan that pushes up on styrofoam balls that you're supposed to shoot at like targets. Let's get into the review. Included is the target unit itself, 2 poles, net, and 4 styrofoam balls. The hovering target requires 4 AA alkaline batteries to install. Remove the battery plate, install your 4 AA alkaline batteries, reinstall the battery plate, and you're good to go. Now to a product overview, because this is kind of a weirdo product and it's definitely not a Nerf blaster. So in a general sense, it's an electronic fan that's pushing air up on these little orange tubes that then push up on these styrofoam balls and make them hover. The most magical part, no magnets involved. It's only air pressure. Like what? So external overview to go over all the buttons and whatnot. Up here we have the on-off button that simply turns it on and off. And up in the front we have a little cubby that I actually can't open with my fingers. You can call me a little girl, that's fine. I can just use a slotted driver and open that. Then you can store your styrofoam balls inside this little cubby, which is great to make sure you don't lose the little balls in between uses. It might just be me, but in my opinion, this little locking mechanism is just too tight. I can't even get it open with my finger. Going over the balls themselves, these are styrofoam balls or just little spheres. They're extremely lightweight. I thought when I bought this, maybe I could use Nerf Rival rounds. They're similar in size. Nerf Rival rounds are a little bit smaller, but Nerf Rival rounds are a lot heavier and they don't work with this mechanism. Ping pong balls might work or something light and large in diameter like that, but I don't have any ping pong balls in the studio, so I can't test that, unfortunately. But the styrofoam balls are not uniform. They're not perfect spheres at all. They look like little balls of clay, like somebody just went like that. Okay, that's close enough to a sphere. Next, instead of it being like a perfect circle, like a Rival round or, a sphere. Next, up here we have the little air jets. Now this is pretty cool. It has a single straw tube that shoots the air up, and then there's this little ring thing that I guess holds the styrofoam ball when the fan is off, but also I think it might be affecting the air to make sure it creates a little cushion for the ball to float on. In the back here we have a little net which is removable, and you can pull each of these little legs out like this, and that allows you to remove it. Totally not necessary, but it's designed to catch the Nerf darts if you miss the target. But as you can see, the entire backstop is pretty much the size of what I would recommend you make a target. So, this is a tiny little target. This is what the whole target should be, and your backstop should be even bigger. So that's a pretty dinky backstop in my opinion. But it's made of 2 little plastic L-like sticks on the side and then this little net with the Nerf logo up in here. So little legs can slide into place if you want it. If not, just don't use it. And the net attaches to these little poles by tying knots with the string, which is a big disappointment. I think it should definitely be Velcro because that looks super sloppy. And I say that pretty seriously because you obviously don't buy a $30 toy that is impossible to hit instead of using paper cups like every normal Nerfer if you aren't shooting for those extreme style points. So that the sloppiness there, it seems to matter on a product like this. If you don't care what it looks like and you're just trying to shoot at targets, don't buy a $30 Nerf target, just buy some paper cups. You might even have some in your kitchen right now. Continuing with the overview, I can't spoil my opinion. Back to the jet little adjuster knobs. So the front switch is on off, but then back here you have a little dial knob to control how much power goes to each jet. This allows you to tune how much pressure you want to push on the ball so you can hover it real low or really high. And when you crank it all the way up, the ball is going to unbalance. If you're trying to get really precise, it's a little unfortunate that after you turn it on, if you put more power into one jet, it diverts energy from the other jets. It doesn't have a controller in the background. I couldn't get them to balance at first, so I was like, okay, I'll just balance one at a time. And that didn't work at all because when I turned them all on, all the power was completely different. Continuing with the overview, below your adjustment knobs, you have your little fan port. And as the instructions very clearly say, don't block that because that's the air intake. If you block the air intake, it's not gonna have any air to push out and then all of your balls are gonna drop. And but you need unrestricted air to make sure it's all consistent. And next to that, you have your battery door where your batteries are housed. And up in the center back here, you have another little tie string which can connect to this little guy right here. I found this to be an absolute nuisance. The net is all up in your way if you try to adjust your knobs back here. So then your hand is also going to interfere with the airflow, which is going to completely screw your balance up and make all of the foam balls just fly everywhere, which I found extremely annoying. So I just personally took that off and just didn't even bother. Ending the overview with what appear to be sling mounts right here. So you can, tactically sling it for your secondary. I don't think I'd use them realistically, but it's nice that they're there. I think it cosmetically looks pretty cool. Anyways, pretty basic. You turn it on. After you figure out how to tune it, you just turn it on and it hovers the balls and you try to shoot them out of the air. So here's a usage demo of adjusting the balls and shooting the balls. I'm a wizard. So I put the styrofoam target up on my chronograph and I'm just kidding, I didn't chrono it. So hopefully my usage demo gives you some ideas of how this device could be used and how kind of annoying it is to hit a target as big as your projectile. That's the overview and the operational demo of the hovering target. Now to my personal opinion on the product, I think it's fun to plink around with or to just kind of toy around with, to get it to work, to kind of play with the hovering balls. It is kind of entertaining. And I actually plan to use it actively as like a desk toy without this silly little net because I just think it looks really sloppy. So if I'm bored, I just turn it on and I can just, kind of play the drums or whatever, just like tap around the little styrofoam balls. It's entertaining to play with it like that. As a Nerf target, I think it's a terrible idea. It's overpriced for what it's providing. It's a very small target and they're very close to each other. So when you go for one, you're very likely to accidentally hit the others, and when your friend accidentally hits yours or a different one that he's claiming, he's gonna say, oh no, you misunderstood, I meant to hit that one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we all have that friend who's just the sniper, just wherever the dart happens to land, that's where he happened to be aiming. Yeah, Kenny, looking at you, bro. Just kidding. It's a little bit of a hassle to set up. It's also loud. It's not really just easy to use as a target. I don't really want to be thinking, hey, is my target gonna knock itself over? Or is it gonna do its job until I have a chance to shoot it? Like this thing, these little tornadoes kept forming and just knocking each other over. And the darts whizzing by disrupted them. Sometimes I'd hit one and it'd like bank shot into multiples. Like I don't know if that's like a bonus points or just more of a nuisance because now I have to go clean up like more balls. Practically speaking, a 1-inch diameter target is just way too small for Nerf blasters. Even if you have like an accurate BB gun or something, or like a rubber band gun, these are extremely small targets. And you're very likely to lose or destroy these styrofoam balls. Now, I hope ping pong balls or some other type of like little foam ball could work. And I'm sure if you get some styrofoam, maybe you could do what they did at this factory and just like crinkle up and just mash some styrofoam together, and that's pretty much what they did here. It's totally not a uniform ball like at all, so maybe you could just make your own. That point aside, I think that this product is super gimmicky, but hopefully you knew that just by looking at the ad or even the thumbnail of this review video. If you're looking for stuff to shoot at with your Nerf blasters, I'd recommend just, paper cups. You can stack them, you can create little castles. You can create a castle, your buddy can create a castle, and then you shoot each other's castles down and see whose lasts longer or whatever. And paper cups are pretty inexpensive. A single cup is like a sniper shot, and that's bigger than all of these targets combined. I mean, come on, these are just extremely small and just impractical. And the hovering thing is cool, and I do look forward to keeping it as a desk toy, but as an actual target, not at all. But that is just my personal opinion. Hopefully the usage demo and the product overview helped you make that purchase decision for yourself. If you are interested in purchasing a hovering target, I'll put a purchase link in the description box below. Should probably keep this stupid thing. Okay, I have like 2 more lines to say, and the stupid thing fell apart. Just get out of here. That concludes this video review. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.